think this is a prime example of how the bureaucracy that runs the city of Baltimore has continued to let its citizens down. I think this is an important example of how Baltimore City has failed to protect its citizens, and really has shown us that the city government is both morally bankrupt and incapable of actually providing justice to people like Zach. I think what happened to Zach is just a case of somebody being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and it's really unfortunate to see what's happened to him. And I think it's great what Anna's doing. I'm here to support her any which way I can, because I think, as somebody who's also been a victim of violent crime myself here in the city of Baltimore, somebody that realizes that we're really all living under threat, and it's a shame that we've fallen so far as a society where we look at what happened to people like Zach and say, well, gee, that's what you get for living in Baltimore. I refuse to accept that. I think that we shouldn't have to be the ones that are afraid. I think the criminals should be afraid.
What's been said about him is horrific. What happened to him was horrific, and for a politician, for somebody who's in public office, to allow a spokesperson to say what she said is unthinkable.
I'm sure you all know about my husband, Zach Sowers, who was attacked last year and died due to brain injuries caused by the attack after 9 months in a coma. Our family has tried to positively cope with this situation, and we have found 2 ways. The first is the memorialization of Zach through the Zach Sowers Brain Trauma Research Fund at Johns Hopkins. This fund provides money for laboratory and clinical research of brain trauma, as well as continuing education for the medical staff in the Hopkins Neurocritical Care Unit. The second is a group of legislative issues dealing with crime and victims' rights, collectively called Zach's Law, which we will present in Annapolis. In order to gain public awareness about Zach's Law, Melody Simmons from Exhibit A magazine interviewed me about it. When I read the article, I was shocked to read that spokeswoman Margaret Burns from the state's attorney's office grossly misrepresented the evidence and medical condition in Zach's case during her interview for the article. Marty Burns told the reporter that Zach's case was not what it appeared to be. She cast great doubt on whether my husband died from a street beating. She described multiple details that have no basis in fact. She cast doubt on my credibility in representing those facts. I called her at her office after reading the article. That same day, I called her on her cell phone and sent her an email. I left messages on both phone lines. After 4 days of no response, I finally received contact via an email letter. She stated that she wanted to keep the matter private and that we must seek forgiveness, and not in any way that may appear insincere. Desiring a more personal response, I called her again, and eventually we spoke over the phone. She stated that she was vastly misrepresented in the article. I contacted author Melody Simmons, who believes her representation was accurate and stands behind her article. She reviewed her notes from the interview, and the notes support her stance. In making erroneous statements in a public article, Marty Burns made this issue a public matter. I have asked that she publicly apologize and retract her statements. She has refused by stating that she has no further comment on this issue and that I am to refer to her email letter. As a result, she has hurt my integrity and my ability to lobby for Zach's Law and to help others who might one day face a similar situation to my own.